G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We are here once again in the brand new expansion, the brand new patch for a couple of pros. You may recognize their names, facing off on the EGC TV finals for 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the west side of the map. In the color red, playing as Juicy's Legacy, representing Izzy Dream, it's MarineLorD. And on the east side of the map in the color yellow, playing as the Malians, Lucifron 7. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a casted game. We're here on Dry Arabia. If you're enjoying this Dry Arabian content, make sure you do leave a like on the video, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you ring that little bell. There it goes, ding, 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 for notifications. Thank you so much. Look at that. It's wonderful when it times up like that, when I can somehow manage to pull it out. Fellas, welcome. I tell you what, I'm looking forward to this game. We've got another Juicy Legacy game. They're up against the Malians once again. And this is a bit of a curious matchup because the Malians typically don't do well against early aggression. Juicy Legacy, one of the things they typically avoid is that early aggression. And it kind of gives both of these civilizations time to move towards their goals. So number one, the Malians, they just want to look for that passive income, right? Like for them, all they're doing is they're just investing. That's all they do. They're trying to build that dream. You know, you're not retiring until you're sleeping and making money. And that's what the Malians is all about. You can fall asleep playing the Malians and you will wake up and you will have a beautiful little nest egg for you. I'm talking about the pit mines, which are just going to be doing absolute work on your gold. I'm talking about the cows, which are going to be bringing you home food all day long. It's an absolute investor's dream. But on the other side of the map, of course, not to be forgotten about, the Juicy Legacy, the Chinese variant civilization, a civilization that is considered by many to be one of the strongest in the current meta. And it's no surprise to see it picked here in the finals of EGC TV's finals for 2023. Make sure you go check them out this week and 15 GMT, Saturday and Sunday. You're going to see some incredible games over there. I'm pretty sure it might actually be the last weekend that we will see content coming out for EGC TV, so make sure you go check them out. Come out in force. I wish I could be there, but I mean, I can probably stop by during a feed or something like that for the little one, but casting, unfortunately, at that time of the morning, it's just not conducive to mental health. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, MarineLorD finding a nice little haul here with sheep. 8 sheep coming through for him. He's got the village down already. Now, this is a bit of a curious decision. I'm not going to break this down too much. I'm not going to call the macro police on him, but there's a couple of things that I will say. When you go for this village, you're obviously forking out a little bit extra on the wood front. Now, I know people will look at that and say it's only 125 wood, and yeah, that's true, but it does delay everything else, right? Because it means that if you want to go for that mining camp, it means you're going to have to gather up a little bit of extra wood. It means if you want to go for that second town center, you now have to gather even more wood. And of course, you do save resources in the long run by doing it, but it's one of those trade-offs that you're going to have to make in the early game, and I'm curious to see how that plays out for him. He's already gone now with the meditation gardens, and have a look at this bad boy. This is one of the best meditation gardens you can get. If you can get all 3 of these, you're doing well for yourself. He's put it down on the stone, the gold, the berries, and the wood line. He's hit all 4 resources. Absolutely loving life right now. Going to be looking at about 108 just from these resources. And then from the trees, it looks like he's probably got about 6 or 7 of them in there. So don't expect too much wood from that way. But very, very nice meditation gardens. Only the 2 villages on it as well. And which way does he look to go? Because at the moment, it's hard to tell whether it's going to be a feudal age play or whether it's going to be a castle age play. I would suspect it's probably going to be feudal because MarineLorD is very well in the know about what the strongest strategy you can do with a certain civilization is. And I'm of the opinion, I'm pretty sure he might be as well, that feudal Juicy Legacy is just ridiculous. It is on a whole nother level. I wouldn't be surprised if we see 3 TCs out of the Frenchman today. Let's check in with the Spaniard and see how he's doing as the age-ups come through for both of these players. A little bit before 4 minutes for both of them. Now with those age-ups online, expect to see upgrades coming through. We've got double broadaxe and a second pit mine. He's got a beautiful pit mine on the backside. Have a look at this. The old double pit mine in the back corner. Nothing better playing this as the Malians. The only way this could get better is if the gold was so close that the houses begin to intersect with each other on the pit mine, and that actually allows the pit mines to share houses together, because the influence of the pit mine, you can't actually see it, but I can assure you it's this little gold square that comes out around. It gets extended out to that second one, and they kind of transfer it, you know, like mother and child, that sort of thing between the pit mines. But not going to happen today. I guess, of course, they could also be larger pit mines, but hey, we're pretty happy with that. Anyway, let's check in on the other side of the map as we do now see MarineLorD throwing down the Jianan Tower. Going to be looking ahead into that Song Dynasty. Plenty of vills here on wood, which to me indicates it will be a second town center. Let's see whether he's going to be transferring villages out over to the stone. Now, keep in mind, he will be looking for a second TC position Where does he go for this one? This is going to be a curious opening. There's the stone mine coming up, or the mining camp coming down on the stone. And he's got a beautiful, absolutely gorgeous meditation gardens here on the front. You can see already Lucifer just knowing what he needs to do, bringing that scout in, looking to try and cause some havoc. 5 minutes 17 on the timing, and it's going to be a stable that's thrown down straight away. 3 villages, and he throws it down outside the radius of the scout. Doesn't want his opponent to have any insight as to what's happening back here. Wants to get as much possible, what's the word? Scaredness factor. But look at that, the horseman immediately comes out, so I don't know whether that gets spotted by Lucifer. He wants as much surprise, right? Like, that's the word I was looking for, surprise. It's funny how the Xiangnan Tower kind of like ruined it for him, though, if he was going for that. Because I suspect he's probably rallying towards that top side. Let's have a look. No, he's just going straight out there. MarineLorD just rallying past the scout. I don't know whether it's going to be a call out right here, but the second TC online shortly. Wheelbarrow coming through for Lucifer. Might have to start switching into production, and indeed, now we see that barracks coming out. Cognizant of the threat of the horsemen. He's seen them out. He's under attack by them on the other side of the map. And definitely no real surprise here. Archery range thrown down as well as Lucifer realizes, okay, looks like we're going to be playing this one in the feudal age for a little bit. This is quite common. You will see these guys dance around, still working towards that goal. And I mean, we have a look here. You can absolutely see that goal coming online for him. Expect to see cattle ranches thrown down shortly. He's already got the mill down. The gold's starting to trickle through. He's already up to 400 gold a minute, though there were villagers out there. And now the scout bringing out its shiv as well. The Donzos coming online, looking to move back towards that gold vein. And there is the first of the cattle making its way back. You'll be looking to build that ring of cattle ranches around that backside. And see the scout back here looking to try and spot out exactly what his opponent's up to. We'll see that cattle and we'll notice, oh, okay, he's going to do it. I'm going to do it as well. Let's see. And exactly what we thought it would be. MarineLorD is going to go for that third TC. This doesn't really surprise me. I think you can definitely get away with it in this position here. And naturally, your opponent is going to take some time to get up to the castle age, and it buys you time, right? Like, you've got yourself, typically in this scenario right here, MarineLorD knows, okay, it's going to take about 10 minutes for my opponent to get to castle age. When they get to castle age, that's when a flood of units is going to come out. We're going to start seeing, typically it's going to be javelins together with the Donzos. So what am I going to do? I'm going to work towards that same 10-minute guideline. I'm going to try and get to castle age as well at that time. And then I'm just going to hit them with a response. And the most common response you'll typically see from the Chinese is just going to be a nest of bees. It's a really safe response. It guarantees that you're going to be able to neutralize both of those units. Of course, you have to be careful of the Sofa Warrior, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him move into Zhukunu Spearman just to open with, and then maybe add in a couple crossbows. But we'll keep an eye on him and see exactly what he gets up to as this third TC now coming down. Walls coming up on the south side as well. One of the most important things to be doing in this version of the patch is walling. Walls are just so damn good at the moment. You can really open your options up when it comes to walls. Instead of, back in the old days, you have to wall between between wood lines. Now you can wall between resources. So it means that you can just wall across here if you wanted to, just to keep this back little pocket safe. Because even though you kind of expose this town center towards the front, that's not really going to matter to him, because as long as he's going to be able to stop those units from coming in on the back line, there's, you know, lots of berries here, deer pack, there's a lot out here. So thinking about getting those walls up definitely makes sense for him. And now we'll check in as the Donzos together with the javelins make their way through. He does now have the archery range up here. Behind the scenes, we see the horsemen are repelled by the Donzo. Lucifer doing a very nice job at this early stage of the game, and we can see exactly what his plan is, looking to put down that landmark right next to the town center, still working towards that castle age, and now just looking to siege down the meditation gardens. We can see there is a single villager inside the town center, doesn't want to lose any health on these Donzos, just going to remain back here, still negating that meditation gardens. Remember, he reduces the income from the meditation gardens just by being present out here. It is a passive landmark. They do not like to be threatened with villagers, but now the scout might be going out. Oh, it's going to be close. He escapes with 11 health. Not too bad there. Now those units will fall their way back. He did have 8 of them. So with 8 units, you pretty much nullified that landmark completely. And now well, I tried to switch right there. I think we ended up switching back to MarineLorD, unfortunately. But you can see MarineLorD. Look at the resources, or the villager count. A lot of villagers on gold here. Is thinking about heading towards that castle age. Definitely the right call. Blacksmith coming up. We'll be looking for ranged attack. Most likely ranged armor as well. But now, both of these players heading towards that castle age. 11 villagers on gold, 16 on food. MarineLorD bringing out the units here. He's got to be careful about engaging a little bit too early with the horsemen. You can see the Zhukunu are coming up behind. They are quite a bit slower than the javelin throwers. So he's really got to make sure he picks the right fight. Now the Zhuge managed to come up. It's just going to be a two-shot, it looks like, on those Donzos. Getting out some decent damage, able to take out the first one, the second one as well. A little bit of a micro mistake, I will say, there from Lucifron. It felt like he didn't pull those Donzos back fast enough, but hold your horses right now, as there's more Donzos coming up the rear, as well as more Javelins joining the party, and it looks like MarineLorD may have to head back to the drawing board. He was thinking about heading towards that castle age around the 10-minute mark, but we can see that that has changed significantly. Lucifron is continuing to produce units, and have a look at this. There are more and more units on the way. He's going to throw down a third production building. We'll be looking for castle age, but he's going to slow that down a little bit. So something curious definitely occurring right here, and MarineLorD is going to know by the fact that there are so many units out. He's going to be saying to himself, okay, well, this is a little bit tough, right? Because if I'm in castle age, I can very easily deal with this, right? A single nest of bees, and he's forced back. It doesn't matter how many javelins he's got. It's not going to matter. Whereas against a feudal age, or in the feudal age, you don't have that option to throw around, and it means you're going to have to invest more heavily into Zhuge, more heavily into horsemen, and we can see he's gone for the triple racks, or rather triple range back here on the backside. Now going to be looking to get even more Zhuge out here, but remember, he's still going to have that castle age in the back of his head, and now we do see that wall coming across here exactly as we expected. It's not about letting this or exposing this town center and letting it burn down, because that's not going to happen. It's just simply about preventing your opponent from running in behind. And look at that nice little town center pop out the front side with the horseman. He cops a fair bit of damage there. Zhuge doing a great job with the micro. Unfortunately, unable to keep a tab on those Donzos as they do managed to maintain significant numbers, and now we can see Lucifron is looking towards that castle age. And this is quite often where it gets difficult to diagnose what your opponent's doing, just because you see these numbers of units and you're like, okay, he looks like he's really committing to castle. Like, there could be feudal rather. There could be battering rams coming out soon, but the reality is castle age is coming behind 17 villagers on the age up as well. He will be looking for those veterancy upgrades. Villager manages to make it to the town center alive, continues taking out all of these Zhuge, and you can see he's having a bit of a tough time here. The micro still only dealing 1 damage on those Zhuge up against the javelin throwers. Able to maintain decent numbers, and now we start to see the outposts coming up. You can see MarineLorD is not able to work towards castle age because he just doesn't know where his opponent is. But now once that castle age comes through, the villagers going to get allocated out to gold almost immediately. We can see now he's got, where are these villagers? I can see that he's got on MarineLorD's side 13 villagers coming out to gold, so he's moved a couple more out to gold at this stage of the game, and more outposts now coming up. He's looking to defend against these javelins, just utilizing the outposts, the arrow slits on them. Town center now going to cop a couple more horsemen on the inside. Very cheeky, sneaky, but the javelin throwers come in, able to snipe out the Imperial official. Very, very nicely done. With the outposts on the front, you're not going to be able to push too much into this. They're way too good on the defensive side. You're going to be copping a fair bit of damage, and you can see the outpost does get cancelled. He's continuing to hold this spot. Veterancy coming through on the javelins, on the Donzos, and now this is starting to look really good for Lucifron. The TC might, in fact, go down here. Just a simple fact of MarineLorD really facing a difficult timing attack here. Did not expect to be up against his opponent this early on. Definitely thought, you know, I'm going to throw out a couple units, but I'm not expecting a big response here. But the reality is that response was quite large. Town center, you can see how many vills he's looking to commit here. Donzo's going to be brought up, just trying to deal with those Zhuge. Unfortunately, the horsemen aren't really able to find a way through. Zhuge now just going to be focusing down each of the javelin throwers. You can see they're managing to do some decent damage here. +2 ranged armor, still not yet through. We can see the ranged attack now coming through from Lucifron as well, and this is a hectic game in the early stages. I didn't expect this much action from two civs that love to boom right now. MarineLorD is working. Oh my, look at the food. Did you guys see that? Oh my lord, he just dropped off about 700 food. Literally dropped off 700 food in that split second down there. I don't know where it was. I don't know how it happened, but he had a whole bunch of villagers that obviously were just chilling out, and wow, that was kind of wild. We'll switch it over to income, though, because, you know, it's important we see where these guys are up to. The focus is going to be on the armies. It's going to be on the micro. It's going to be on whether MarineLorD is able to pull these Donzos out far enough to be able to get those shots on them with the Zhuge. And it looks like it's just going to be a retreat for the moment. We've got Lucifron heading back to the drawing board. Now, the question is going to be, how quickly do we have MarineLorD going into that siege workshop? Normally, you expect to see it relatively quick up against this, but you can see he's now going into veterancy on the Zhuge. That's going to give them a little bit of health, a little bit more damage against your Donzos. But up against the javelin throwers, they won't be breaking any extra sweats or any extra points with that. And have a look at what we've got behind this. Imported armor. So it is going to be that Sofa Warrior switch that is so powerful against these civilizations that love to go for an archer-heavy composition. Veterancy now through for the Zhuge, coming through on the horsemen as well. Have a look at the economy, sitting at about 600, 1200, 2500 at the moment, compared to his opponent, sitting on about 22, 2600. So the Malians slightly ahead despite being behind 34 villages. Are the relics getting picked up yet? Let's double check and see. There it is, the mosque coming down or completing as I said that. So both of these players going to be looking to pick up relics. We do know that the Shaolin Monastery is back here somewhere. Let's have a look and see if we can spot it. There it is. It's towards that top side. But another thing to note is look at what MarineLorD's doing. This is such a smart play. And I think this is something you're going to start seeing players doing a lot more with the Jussi Legacy especially, because you need so much space for your farms. You want the farms to have somewhere that's, you know, nice and open, and often this is towards the corner of the map, so this is really nice. But on top of that, it keeps your farmers safe. You know that there's really no threat of being attacked on this backside here as these villagers get taken out. There's no threat of the Sofa Warriors come in. You can just wall that off nice and easily, forget about it. And that's what makes it so powerful by doing that. And, you know, at the end of the day, you're copping maybe 15, 20 seconds of walk time for guaranteed villager safety, and that's pretty damn nice. But now, still taking out villagers. He's lost 9 this game already. Horseman raid on that top side. It's going to be finding villagers here. He's forcing plenty of idle time as the Malian player will be forced away from this. Town center on the front inevitably comes down. Outpost is fortified, though, so the villagers can jump inside. Never mind, they're going to be torched to death, quite literally, by the Donzos. Now, slowly but steadily, MarineLorD loses that lead. Keep in mind, he was on 3 TCs this whole time. He's been able for the last maybe 8 or 9 minutes to pump out units, but it's only a slow and steady race from here because he's on 2 TCs now, so may have to think about adding in a 3rd TC. You can see he's now transitioning villagers over onto stone. He's got some stone in the back of the base, maybe. I don't know exactly where that is, but we see a whole bunch of stone just being dropped off. There's the Siege Workshop, so no real surprise there. A little bit late, if I'm honest, with that Siege Workshop. The sooner that this comes in, the better. But I guess you're up against the Sofa Warriors. You don't really have anything that can deal with them, and now all of a sudden it looks like MarineLorD might be getting sniped out here. Behind the scenes, it looks like we do have a continuous raid coming through from the Horsemen, but MarineLorD under significant pressure. Look at the numbers, not in his favor at all. Down 12 military population. He is holding on for a nest of bees. He needs a hero right now. Landmarks are under attack. The javelin thrower is going to be able to finish all of this off. A couple of horsemen looking to help out as well. Unfortunately, they just bring the Donzos to the top side. The javelin's still working their magic into the production. Crossbow is going to be coming online. The nest of bees should be able to do fine. Meanwhile, towards that front, the Sofa Warriors looking to try and chase away those horsemen. And now with the nest of bees coming online, MarineLorD relieves. MarineLorD is fine, he says. But unfortunately, more and more units continue to trickle in here. Is he going to be able to hold it? It looks like it should be fine. We'll check back in with the reinforcements. It looks like Lucifront maintains that number on the map. He's just going to be rallying back towards it. A very strong hold there from MarineLorD. And we can see the power of the nest of bees, the importance, the significance of it right there. Now, where is he getting this 2 attack from? That's what I want to know. MarineLorD does have 2 ranged attack in here, but I feel like this is a bug. Is he getting chemistry right now? Because you don't have access to chemistry, but your damage doesn't increase when you get to Imperial. I feel like he's got chemistry right now. This doesn't normally happen with the Chinese. I'm 99% sure. All right, it looks like, how many relics have we got at the moment for MarineLorD? He's on 1 relic. That's it. He does have the Shaolin Monastery. I'm kind of interested why he's throwing down the monastery on the front here. Is it just to pick up this single relic? Is it because he's got the gold in the bank? So he's like, I might as well just make it so I can build a monk that costs gold? A monk that costs gold? I don't know the pronunciation. And back here, we've got MarineLorD slowly adding in more farms, having a beautiful little economy back here as well. He's gone for a 2-wide farm layout. You guys know how I feel about this. I'm not going to call them the macro police, even though I am tempted. For anybody who doesn't know who the macro police are, they are the police that come and visit you when you make key macro mistakes. Now, often we don't call those out on lower level players. On higher level players especially, we call it out because we expect better from them. And if you'd like to have your own little visit from the macro police, make sure you check out the Patreon. We've got plenty of content over there from them. If you'd like to get your own coaching, of course, we've got that as well. But go check out the Patreon. Lots of free content over there as well. But now, those sacred sites starting to come over onto Lucifront's favor. He's only picked up 1 relic so far. Where are these imams out on the map? We can see a relic up towards the north. He's not yet spotted it out. Has MarineLorD spotted this? He has. No excuse, MarineLorD. Get it in the bag there, my friend. Relic now being brought back towards this backside. He's got 3 online at the moment. Shaolin Monk is out here. He's now taking that gold up towards the north. You can see he's kind of leaving this gold in the back of his base, nice and safe. 2,200 left on this one. And one thing to note is he is not yet really out on the map on those large gold veins. We can see that there is one out here, one down to the south side as well, but the control is definitely in favor of Lucifron. And now we can see the importance of these walls. These walls allow MarineLorD to subsequently respond immediately to this threat, knows that his villagers on the back are not going to be threatened. Those Sofa warriors very happily would have gone through. They would have begun chasing those villagers around, and look what he's got to chase. He's only got his own little horsemen. He's got no spears to really respond, so he would be in a really bad spot here. So forcing his opponent to fight. Oh, he could be in trouble though. Have a look at this. The numbers aren't looking particularly favorable. He's down 30 military population at the moment, and now the Sofa warriors looking to come through. Will make a connection on top of the crossbows. Nest of bees fires off, but the Sofa managed to get in on top of it. A single nest of bees on the front. Villagers aren't going to make it in time, and now it looks like MarineLorD could be in trouble. Behind this, we see no raids to kind of alleviate the pressure or destroy any kind of threat that he's building up in that base of Lucifron. But slowly and steadily, these outposts are working their way back in. You can see them covering that fire. And MarineLorD somehow manages to hold again. How is he holding? I really don't know where these units are coming from. He's managed to come back into it. Have a look at this. Is this just Chinese production just being overwhelming? Has he got Imperial officials back here supervising? How is he getting so many units out in such a short time frame? He's got a bit of production back here. Let's double check and see. 3 stables, 3 rangers, 5 Raxes, and a siege workshop. It's not a whole lot, but I mean, it's pretty good for this stage of the game. 21 minutes. You know what? That's pretty good. That definitely passes the vibe check. Let's check in on the other side of the... Oh my lord, Lucifron. How many have we got over here? 5, 5, and 3 as well. We have got some good numbers of production out for both of these guys. Exactly where you'd expect them to be. That way, they're always spending those resources that are coming through. Behind this, we hear the cattle continuing to come out underneath the town center, just looking to empower that a little bit late with the fertilization. Definitely a macro mistake there from Lucifron. You want to get that as soon as you click up to the castle age, or rather, as soon as you're up to the castle age as the Malians, because that upgrade now does affect your cows as well, so you get a nice little stacking bonus from that. And once again, pressure on this bottom side. Expect to see a quick wall thrown in here from MarineLorD. There it goes. Exactly what we'd expect. Buying himself a little bit more time as the units rotate down, and you can see this is the power of having these walls up. They just guarantee that your villagers at the back will be safe. I'd love to see a wall come around these farms as well for MarineLorD, just to kind of even prevent that slightly more. He's up to 2,100 food a minute at the moment. Sacred Site is being captured, but have a look at this. The outpost will provide coverage. Now the units from his opponent is going to be making their way up towards that top side. Villagers on the gold need to be careful. Need to be careful right here. They're going to get picked off. The nest of bees a little bit exposed here. Is starting to move into that coveted spearman crossbow combo. I love saying that. Spearman crossbow combo. That right there. I want to order that at KFC. But now the Springalds come out. First shot hits. It's an absolute brilliant shot. Second one comes out. It's going to be on a couple of... Oh, he's misclicked it. He misclicked onto the crossbow. A very rare micro mistake coming out from Lucifron. One of the best in the game. He managed to click a crossbow instead of clicking onto that nest of bees. But look at this. He's still holding, but now the archer numbers are starting to build here. We've got the switch. This is a very classic switch coming out as well. He's going to be looking to go into Archer together with the Sofa Warriors. You can see he's got 6 Sofa Warriors in queue. MarineLorD needs to maintain siege superiority here. He must maintain it. Very important. I'd love to see an Imperial official on the siege workshop, just so he can get more siege out quickly. But the other thing to note is right now, he should recognize that his opponent has got a very large mass of archers, and naturally the next thing to come after you've got a big mass of archers is going to be those Sofa Warriors, and we know that his opponent's got them in queue. Obviously he doesn't, because he doesn't have God Vision, but what he does have is a nice little raiding force on the other side of the map, and is going to be spotting this out. We see more and more coming out. We've got a market being thrown down over towards that little south corner. Nice little point that he's running here. Still plenty of resources back here for his opponent, but remember, he can always just fall back onto them rather than taking them initially. At this stage of the game, the advantage, you'd have to give it over to MarineLorD. He's managed to stay alive. He's managed to thrive in his base. He's built up a very vast food economy. He's looking absolutely wonderful. He's managed to survive the hardest part, the first 20 minutes of the game. And now all he needs to do at this stage, spearmen, crossbows, and Springalds. A couple of nest of bees sprinkled in. And you're absolutely fine. Speaking of Springalds right here, a couple of them going to be given away for free. MarineLorD picking them up. Say hello, mate. How you doing? Gets another one right there. Huge mistakes from Microfront coming out for the Malian Lucifron. And now that Nesta B's on the backside, going to be looking to tee off towards those archers. We'll be able to find it. MarineLorD now going to be heading Imperial Age as well at the same time. It's an incredible hold coming out from MarineLorD today. And now you can see the tempo switch. As soon as MarineLorD pushes out of his base, this is when Lucifron knows he's in trouble, because his opponent has got that confidence to come out here. He's got the numbers to come out here. He's got no real ways to deal with the siege. The Imperial Age comes through, and now the rest of the army's going to get cleaned up. MarineLorD victorious in this EGC TV final. Ladies and gentlemen, go check him out this weekend. It's going to be the grand final happening this weekend, 15 GMT, Saturday and Sunday. So set your timers, set your alarms, get that little iPhone alarm ringtone going out, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.